The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 113 with Frost Giant. Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Prisoner of the Past by Frost Giant, who I've got on the show with me right now. They're a folk metal band from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. We're going to be listening to that song as well as one other while finding out more information about the band. Maddie, welcome to the show.
Hey man, how you doing?
I am doing awesome, minus getting over a little bit of a head cold, which may or may not be coming through the microphone. But other than that, I'm great. How are you, sir?
Well, you sound great to me. I don't see the problem.
Beauty. Let's go ahead and listen back to that track, Prisoner of the Past. Cool. So go ahead and take us through Prisoner of the Past. What's the inspiration or story behind the track?
It's part of the larger story of the record, where it's a concept album, and the character who is singing from the first person is just somebody who is striking out from their history, from their upbringing, and trying to find their own way in the world, and just finding a hard time of it. They're not having as easy of a time as they want to have, but they still kind of remain hopeful and up-tempo about it, upbeat. You know, they're happy, they're getting out there. The beginning of the song is meant to convey excitement and this youthful, exuberant energy of just striking out on your own, and then it just runs into like, oh, this is really difficult, you know, because I don't have a support network, I don't have anything. So he's kind of like beholden to his past, but doesn't really want to be beholden to it, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Now, so, obviously you mentioned it's a concept album. What was unique about the writing process when it came to Prisoner of the Past?
Where that song sits on the record is after a lot of really heavy, fast, super blast beat ridden melodic death and black metal type of songs. It's like and it comes after this a cappella dirge where it seems like everything's kind of hopeless and doom and gloom and falling apart. And after the vocal song ends, it just kicks in right with those bass drums, and the vocal song kind of ends on a sort of an up-tempo swingy note, you know, kind of like, okay, yeah, I can, you know, this might be good. This might be really good. So it comes in at a point on the record where all you've heard is just your basic typical screamy metal, fast guitars, fast drums type stuff. And then it comes into this, which is way more upbeat, way more silly. Kind of what I was going for with it was when the kazoos come in, I wanted to make people laugh out loud. Like, holy crap, they put a kazoo there. That was kind of what I was going for. I was just sort of going for a little bit of slight comic relief and maybe throwing a lot more folk into the metal aspect of it, because up until that point, there really isn't too much of a folk metal influence on the album. Okay,
interesting stuff. Now, for Rock Metal Nation, who definitely dug the track Prisoner of the Past, as a special bonus, if you go to today's show notes, www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, there is a music video for Prisoner of the Past, which, oddly enough, now, is it claymation or does it just look like claymation?
No, it's claymation.
Sweet. So go ahead and take us through, the inspiration behind creating the music video.
The video was created by a former roommate of my guitar player, Scott. His name's Bruce Longo, and he has his own basic claymation studio that he's been doing. He's done music videos for other bands. He did a music video for a band called the Goddamn Gallows, and he also did a lot of short claymation videos that he had on his Instagram channel, which is, if I can plug it, it's Headless Eyes Claymation, all one word, on Instagram. And he really liked us and wanted to do a video for us. He asked us if he could do a video for us, and just asked us for some general, like, how do you want your claymation figure to look type of thing. So we gave him the information about that, and he just spent about 5 months in his whatever free time he had creating this video while we were recording the Harlot Star. So we were recording last year from January till June. He started right around the same time we did, end of January, early February, and ended up finishing right around the time we got the final mix masters in. So we sent him the track, and he lined it up, and that's where it went. He did an amazing job.
Boom. All right, let's go listen to the next track of Clarity and Regret. Come back from Of Clarity and Regret. Right? What was the story or inspiration behind Of Clarity and Regret? Or better yet, where are we at in our hero's story in the concept album?
In the hero's journey or the character's journey where we're at. Basically, all the struggles that he's gone through in his entire life up to that point, everything that he's experienced, the running from his past, trying to find his place in the world, trying to find where he belongs, and just frustrated that he's never going to find it, that everything he's been looking for is dead and gone. He finds something else that he didn't intend to find, that he fell in love with, and ended up making that the purpose of the rest of his life. And in the timeline of the concept album, that song, which is not a very long song on the record, spans about 40 years of the actual timeline of the concept, because it's that person found that thing and is like, they found the love of their life, and this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to live for no matter what happens. And it turns out that the person he falls in love with, as they get old, and 40 years later, she passes away. And you get that feeling like, it's horrible having somebody you love, somebody you're that close to, pass away. But when you spend that time with somebody, no matter how long it is, there's also a part of my life would not be what it was if I hadn't met that person. I feel the same way about my husband, and that's where I really tapped into that feeling. Like, I love this man with all my life. I've been married to him for 6 years now, and it's just every day I'm grateful. I'm absolutely grateful that I have him in my life, and no matter how long he's in my life, I'm going to be grateful for it. And it's going to suck if he passes away before I do. I'm going to be completely destroyed. But I'm still going to be grateful for that time. And that's kind of that mixed emotion, that mixed feeling of, I'm really sad. It's grief and mourning, plus you saved me. You made me complete. And that's kind of what that song's trying to communicate. It's a celebration, but it's sort of tinged with grief.
Wow. The clarity and the regret.
Right.
What exciting news do you guys have coming up for Rock Metal Nation to pay attention to?
Well, by now the album will have been out for a few weeks, so hopefully the exciting news is that people are buying it. If people still buy records anymore, I'm hoping they do. We have...
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll take whatever I can get at this point.
We came out with this. I hope somebody buys it.
Sorry. I'm 45 years old. If anybody buys it, I'll show up to your door and personally thank you.
Perfect. Now, the next logical question for Rock Metal Nation who wants to stay in touch with you guys is, how can they find out more information about you? Is there a website that they should go to?
Yeah, we're on Bandcamp at frostgiant.bandcamp.com. We have a Facebook page, which is at frostgiant official, all one word. It's the same thing for our Instagram. That's pretty much how we get in touch with people. If people want to send us a message on Facebook or whatever and get in touch, or if they want to go check out our music, they can stream our music on Bandcamp. They can buy our music on Bandcamp. They can buy our merch on Bandcamp. And if they want to buy the actual CD, they can go to transcendingrecords.com and pick up the CD there.
Beautiful. Well, Maddie, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come onto the Rock Metal Podcast and share Frost Giant with Rock Metal Nation.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate the time.
Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Frost Giant. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.